I make a lot of cakes working at Dairy Queen, but I think my favorite one to make is a log cake, which is one I'm making right here because they are so easy to do. First, you're going to line the sides with chocolate or vanilla soft serve. In this case, I chose to do chocolate, and then we add a layer of cookie crumble and fudge in the middle. Then you're going to add the opposite flavor of soft serve in the other half. In this case, it's vanilla. We're going to grab a cake board, stick it to the bottom, flip it right side up, make sure it's centered on the board, and then pop it in the freezer for a couple of hours. Does anyone else not eat a certain food because one time you got sick and the last thing you ate was that food? Because that's me. We're going back about 12 years now. My parents had taken my brother and I to Disney World, and we were waiting in line at this dinosaur restaurant, and I started to feel super sick while waiting in line. So I told my parents, and them being the lovely parents that they are, were like, absolutely not. You are not sick. You're not throwing up. You are fine. Once we finally sat down about a half an hour later, I ran to the washroom and basically threw up the entire night. And the last thing I ate, fish and chips. 12 years, and I still can't stand the smell, taste, or texture of seafood, and there's a 99% chance it wasn't even from the fish, considering my brother was sick a day before I was. If you're training and you accidentally put too much on a cone, do you get to eat it? So the simple answer is no. When I'm training new staff and they accidentally do something like this, I will still serve the product to the customer as long as it's not a crazy amount over, and just explain that we're training new people and they haven't quite got it yet, but that's just a personal preference for me. Other people do different things, and other stores will do different things as well. When you dip the cone, has the ice cream ever fallen into the dip mix before? So I think they're basically asking if the vanilla cones have ever fallen into the chocolate cone coating before, and the obvious answer is yes. I think I've only done it maybe 3 or 4 times, but it honestly takes a cake for the most embarrassing thing to happen while working at Dairy Queen. It feels like a walk of shame trying to scoop the ice cream out of the cone coating while every single customer in the store watches what you just did. We're going to decorate what was probably the most sold cake at Dairy Queen today, which is the Triple Truffle Mini Blizzard Heart Cake. Now, from what I understand, the whole idea for this Blizzard flavor is to skip all the weird, boring flavors of chocolate in a box of chocolates. Like for me, that'd be orange and like marshmallow. Ew, I don't know who thought of that. And then just go with the fudge, caramel, and peanut butter, which I think is such a smart idea. We screwed up. Well, not really, but as it turns out, we made too many heart cakes for Valentine's Day this year, so we have a bunch of extras, and they are all half price right now. So if you live in the Hamilton region, the Dairy Queen in Ancaster is having half price on just the heart cakes, just at Ancaster DQ, while the quantities last. There's about 20 or so right now. Anytime I get an idea of how I want to decorate a cake, it usually turns out how I want it to about 50% of the time. This was not one of those times. It doesn't look bad. I just don't know how I feel about it. I added the pink border, and then I wanted these cute little red hearts around the border. I don't know what happened, and then I added sprinkles because in my head, sprinkles just fixes everything. I don't know how we were feeling about it, but I put it in a display and someone bought it, so there's that. I thought I was getting a ticket the other day, and it's a perfect example of why my brain is probably my worst enemy sometimes. So my friend and I were out for dinner in Dundas, and the parking is very limited there. We're talking like just parallel street parking, which is not my strong suit, and it was also super busy. So we ended up parking at a convenience store parking lot down the street. And so we're coming back to my car afterwards, and there's these 2 older guys standing right in front of my car. They've got a pad of paper, a flashlight, and they're wearing blue-collared shirts, and I'm just like, those are cops. I'm getting a ticket right now. My mind starts to spiral. I start freaking out because I don't want to deal with that. I don't like confrontation. I don't need that, okay? So we waited out for a little bit. They're not moving, we're not moving. So we finally just go over, and then they walk away, no ticket. It was just weird.